and welcome to Yin Yoga with crystal bowls and candlelight yin. So I just invite you to feel that energy that's coming from the light of the candles. And just go ahead and take a nice rest on your back. Just lay down if you have a mat. I've got a nice fluffy blanket, and we may not see each other, but you will be hearing me. So just take that nice restorative pose of laying on your back. And I can see some of you. Don't worry about if I can see you or not. Just follow my voice. Just laying on your back and just begin to notice your breath. Just see if you can slowly slow down your breathing cycle. And we do that by just noticing the inhale first. Our mouth is softly open. It's not jarring, it's not clenching. And I always think of this slowing down the inhale as riding a gentle wave. Kathy's here. Oh, we're riding that gentle wave, Kathy. I can't hear you right now because we're in meditation, but that's okay. I muted you. The joy of just following the breath. So just getting and connected with the inhale and the exhale on your back. I'm just kind of guiding you. I may not do everything with you. That's right, Kathy. Just laying down on your back in your bedroom. Lois is there. We're all here together. Now see if you can bring the attention of just bringing that inhale for a count of 6 or 7. And then as you bring that inhale, hold your breath for a count of 1 or 2. And now exhale for a count of 6 or 7. So inhaling. For a count of 6 or 7. And exhaling for a count of 6 or 7. Just following your breath. Just feel your body getting heavier and heavier as you just let your mouth just slowly drop open, tongue behind the 2 front teeth. Just slowly bringing your knees to your chest now. Just bringing your knees to your chest.
Playing from Savvy.
Knees to your chest. Beautiful. Keeping those knees close to your chest, rocking side to side. And just setting the intention this evening of just letting things be as they are. So this evening we are working on our form of non-attachment to what is, just this new norm. Mm-hmm. Knees to the chest, just a little rock side to side, some of you, just a little tiny rock. Continue to follow your breath. So notice if you held your breath, notice if you forgot to breathe. You may sigh. You may exhale largely now. Maybe there is some energy that needs to be released of just you're in a space tonight that's safe. You're alone with this community virtually, but this is a time where if you've been bottling up emotions or holding things in, what a beautiful time you're muted that you can just let that go tonight. Feeling anything that comes up and just letting those knees drift to the left side. And as you stack your knees on top of each other, see if you can bring those knees closer to the armpit. Slowly bringing the knees into the armpit. So knees are stacked side to side. And I'm going to take that pose. If you're wondering what we're doing, if you're new to yoga, you can actually look at the camera and you can see I'm just kind of on my side. Knees are cozied up. It's like a cuddle time. You're just cuddling with your own self. Let's just bring those arms all the way overhead. So we're really stretching out the side ribs. You have candles near you. Make sure you don't put your arm in the candle like I just did. Luckily, I didn't burn my cashmere sweater. I had a little bit of soot, but arms come all the way overhead. Finding that inner joy and inner laughter. And as we're here, we're going to take our first yin pose and extend that top leg out here as we open up the arm to the cross pose. So really deep stretch. Again, watch for candles or anything, any obstacles that are in your way. You really let that arm come all the way out. So we're really getting a full body stretch from fingertip to fingertip. Nice. That left leg is stacked and you're just really stretching it out. Again, I'll show you what that looks like. Arm all the way out to the side, big stretch. And if I could touch you, I want you to imagine me touching you right now, coming over and putting my hands on your shoulders, drawing your shoulders back. I might be standing above you and just pressing down your shoulders, getting those shoulders down away from your ears. So see if you can continue to draw those shoulders down by engaging your scapula. All the way, engaging that scapula all the way out. Oh, feels so good, doesn't it? Oh, just draw that shoulder away from there. The shoulder that is away from the legs. The knees are one side, shoulder comes down, and then let's just find that breath again. Finding that breath. And if you're new to Yin Yoga, we hold these poses between 3 and 5 minutes. And why we do this is we get into the inner layers of the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, even into the joint capsules themselves. So this time that we have, what it does is it's kind of like a slow cooking of our muscles and tendons and ligaments. So we're allowing the time and the breath to help our bodies release. So there's non-force. Just let's focus on that mantra of non-force, non-resistance. Noticing that when we force things and we try to push things, it usually never works out, huh? This desire, this craving of wanting things to be different than they are. Continuing that breath. See if you can just relax into the non-force. Just let your body completely be like jello. At the same time, feeling the energy of your body. The heart is open now. So the lung meridian's wide open. So take some nice deep breaths deep into the last rib cage. That's right. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Continue to follow your breath like a lazy river, just floating and drifting like a beautiful, beautiful feather. Maybe you can bring those knees closer to the armpit. Maybe arms come and extend out. Maybe the shoulders need to come down just a little bit away from the ears. That tongue is behind the two front teeth to relax the jaw. Maybe the lips are kind of tingling. They're so relaxed. Holding that twist, that leg is extended out. Feeling that lower spine just twist, the sacrum opening up. That sciatic nerve right across that istiotuberosity of that side leg that extends all the way to the outside of the big toe, starting from the hip joint all the way down. From here, just slowly as you're on the side, and it's so important to move extremely slowly in these poses. There's no shortage of people who get injured in yoga by moving too quickly. So let's just bring that left knee up, and I'm just kind of demonstrating here. And I just like to hold it and rock it before moving past it. And let's just come up. And as we roll back on our back, we're in the perfect place to come into that happy baby. And if you're new to yoga, I mean, I just think this pose's name is so perfect because it really is. If you've ever watched a baby, maybe a 5 or 6 month old, they just rock on their back. And maybe they bring their index finger to the outer rim of their big toes and they just kind of rock and frolic. Just frolic and rock. So we're just rocking. Our legs are wide. We've got at least 3 to 4 feet, maybe 3 feet between the inner heels. Our driste, or our gaze, where do our eyes go? They're just kind of floating at the top of the ceiling. I can see some of you just kind of playing. Kathy's there. Yeah, some of you who have me looking. And Lois is just nicely rocking side to side. Beautiful. Alan's there. Thank you joining us, Alan. It's rocking. Yeah, nice, beautiful. Just feeling that sense of frolic. And again, we hold these, we just kind of rock for at least 2 minutes, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. And in time, of course, nobody cares that if you want to take a break, you can. Mm-hmm. So happy baby. Happy Wednesday. Happy spring. I was just talking to Lois and we're on the recording how beautiful it's been. And I get to drive around a lot and deliver food to people. And I just see this beautiful county we live in. And wherever you're at, Alan, we live in such a beautiful area. So really coming into the sense of gratitude tonight, not what we don't have, but what we do have. Beautiful. Just a little bit longer here in this happy baby. You can even pull down from the balls of the feet and bring those knees deeper into the armpit. Yeah, that's nice. And let's slowly, as we move out of that pose again, I like to just bring my hands underneath my knee joints and just support the back of my knees. Just to say, hey, I've got you, knees. You've been doing a lot of walking. I'm not going to let you just collapse. So finding and really supporting the joints, really important. And let's just take the twist to the opposite side now, as we let the knees just gently, slowly stack up on one vertebrae at one knee at a time. So that knees come over. It's kind of like just sleeping on your side in a spooning like position, right? And if we don't have anybody to spoon with, well, we could have a dog or a pillow. Those work really well. Yeah, so come into that spooning position. And then now, as we are there and settled, let's just extend that top leg all the way out. Straighten that leg. So we have a twist. And our external abductor is just exposed. We really get to stretch open from the side of the hip all the way through, taking that twist again. And just notice what thoughts are coming up in your mind right now. Just see if you're thinking about something that is repetitive that you always think about. We have these patterns. And just be mindful right now and just notice. We don't have to change it, we can just see it. Whether it's fear, whether it's a task, whatever, we know what it is. It just comes up again. And just see if you can ask that thought that usually distracts you from the present moment to just take the back seat and just say, hey, I'd like you to get in the back seat for the next 40 minutes, please. So we are mastering our mind, and that is what mindfulness is about. We are saying, oh, I see you, thought, and I observe you, thought, and it's just my mind thinking. It's not necessarily reality. It's just a thought. So let that thought be like a cloud in the sky and just put it away or just watch it drift and then come back to your physical body, your sensations in your body, the temperature of your room, my sound of my voice. And again, let's really open up those arms so they're in that nice diagonal cross pose. Scapula is drawing down and back. Just see if and notice if those ears want to just drift up to the shoulders want to drift up to the ears. It's a natural. And just ask them, just like your thoughts, to draw down back. Just letting yourself be present with your body right now. How often do we just literally make love to our own body in not so much a sexual way, but into a sensual way of just loving and opening up our body, but just being there. Notice what's causing you a distraction in your body. What part of your body is talking to you right now? And just be aware of it. Maybe it's your lower spine, maybe it's your legs. See if you can focus and draw some attention to that spot and let that part of your body know that you're there for it, that you're not abandoning, whether it's your hip, your lower spine, but you're fully present. And maybe you might want to say, I'm sorry for not focusing on you more. Sometimes that happens where we're distracted, we're busy. It's easy to get caught up into drama and lose track of how beautiful it is to be alive and healthy. Just a little longer here. Notice if the mind goes into when's this going to end. See if you can take some deep breaths into that restless monkey mind. And get deeper into this pose by drawing that toe of the external leg that's out towards the ear. And slowly, just again, super slowly rolling back on your side. Knees into the chest. And from here, let's just extend the right leg all the way out, the left leg all the way out. So we're right on our back, and bring the arms all the way overhead. Big, really big extension. Big full body stretch. And just go ahead and bend the knees. And I want you to just come up into a seated position. So we have to support our body. I'll give you my sense of, yeah, there we go. Bringing in, and we're all the way up. And go ahead and come into that staff pose. So bring those feet straight out. And you can see my feet. There we are. And just flex your feet, hard flex, pull those feet back. And then now just focus on grounding through your sit bone. Really grounding through your sit bone. That's right. I've got big feet and little head. So I'm going to make my there we go. I was like, oh, I hope my feet are not dirty and they're in front of your face. So really draw those toes back. And let's just take a nice upward prayer pose, really reaching up, grounding through your sit bones, pulling those toes back, so really opening up their calf. And let's just come forward and just reach past the toes. Feel that really intense stretch in the back of the hamstrings. Some of you may need to bend your knees a little, and that feels really nice. Some of you may need to straighten out if the flexibility is there, and then just loop your fingers around your index, your big toe, and then draw the elbows down. This feels really good to me right now. Notice how you're feeling in this right here. And once you make a connection to this staff pose and this forward fold, then become to take in the breath here. So we're taking the Ujjayi breath of inhaling. Softening through the eyes too. So even the eyes are soft and light. Now bending through the elbows a little deeper and see and feel your sit bones. Feel those sit bones stabilizing into Mother Earth as you move from the spine, forehead coming closer to the toes. It's been a long time since I've done this forward fold. It feels so nice. And like I said, at any time it feels too much, some of you might want to just bend your knees, come halfway down. You may be here, you may be here. Some of you maybe all the way down and just a deep forward pancake fold. That's right. Beautiful, everyone. Denise is here. Norm's here. Kathy's here. Lois is here. I'm here. I'm Diana. Yeah, so let's continue just another couple of minutes in this juicy one. Yeah, continue to hold. Yeah, some of you may want to just focus on the candle as a mudra. I'm just kind of holding it for you. And candle and light and fire can be very hypnotic and very relaxing. Like gazing into a beautiful fire. I just encourage you, if you want to bring a candle in our candlelight yoga, you can always bring that candle with you and focus. This sacred light, this spark that keeps us alive, the life force of fire. It's enthusiasm. It makes things happen. So just focusing on this fire of life, creativity, empowerment. Slowly from this beautiful forward fold, we're just going to take and pick up that right leg and just rock it a little bit. Just support it again. Supporting it. And then just place it on the side of the left and just move it inward. And then just hook the inside of the elbow and bring that knee in. So I take the opposite and just bring it in. And then just really taking a little twist, bring that right arm or left arm, wherever you're at, bring it all the way around and take a nice seated twist. One leg is forward, we're looking over the back of that shoulder. We can be up on the fingertips. This feels so nice to just come up on the fingertips and look over the shoulder. And this is where we really want to come into the deep breath of inhale for 6 or 7. Be holding for a count of 1 or 2 and letting that breath drift out. That's right, just holding that twist. See if you can get deeper into the twist now and deeper into that inhale, exhalation on the opposite side. So the ribs are really being lubricated by this twist. They're expanding, they're opening, they're releasing. Ribs can get so tight. So continue to really imagine space between each of your intercostals and your ribs. Yeah, beautiful, nice. Notice if any fear comes up. A lot of fear gets stuck in the ribs, especially around the heart. We've been heartbroken, we've had anxiety, any fears that get stuck in the fight or flight response of the heart. It's easy to do if we watch the news too much, and there can be some sense of panic, huh? I know. Again, letting go, surrendering that we're not in control. That's a tough one. Just inhaling and exhaling and releasing that we don't always have all the answers, that we don't have to save the world. A sense of trust and the fact that we are not always in control. Letting go of control tonight. Just a little bit longer in this seated twist. Slowly releasing. Let's just bring that left knee that was in and bring that knee into the chest. So I'm just holding the base of the ball of my foot, kind of cupping it. And then let's extend that leg out. I want to encourage us, if we're going to be doing this probably for another month, I would say. I'm hearing this before our clubs open up again, to next week, and I'll mention this now, is to find a towel or a strap. So next week we're going to use our straps a lot more, and a towel works just fine, everyone. We don't have to go ordering something on Amazon. We can just actually find a towel. We're holding this nice stretch here, and then just bringing it down and releasing it. And let's just take that nice upward prayer. Yeah, just hold, really lifting. Yeah, so we're opening up through the back of the back. And then draw those shoulders away from the ears, and then bring the hands down, and then open up your wings. Just, accept the occiput. Just let it rest and really open up. And if I was here, I'd come back and assist and open up your wings for you. And we can maybe do a side to side. Just feels nice. Oh, side to side, a little twist. Yeah. Oh. Releasing, bring the hands into the heart and just hold. Close your eyes. Take a few nice deep breaths and just surrender. Releasing the hands and just open them up to receive. So it's just the mudra of like, I accept what's given to me. I'm grateful. Holding the water, food that we've been given today. Bringing the hands in. Let's just take that opposite leg up and then just straddle and hold it and cuddle it. Just let it know it's supported. And then just drop that leg to the side. Bring it in, just really snuggle it in. That straight leg out, and then release, relax, and just bring that elbow joint and release up. And then take that nice twist to the other side. Beautiful. Holding that twist. Nice, just holding that twist. Now see if you can deepen that twist just a little bit. Softening through the mouth and the jaw. So if you ground through the sit bones. Anytime you can take a break, you can just kind of release and let the muscles be kind of soft, a little mushy or soggy, and then come back into that active yoga asana. Beautiful. From that twist, the opposite side here. And then just slowly releasing. Let's just bring the feet into bound angle. So we bring those feet in together. All 10 toes just touching each other, just like all 10 fingers. And just see if you can feel the contact of the pinky baby toe. Just feeling the contact of that pinky baby toe. And now the toe next to the pinky baby toe. So just noticing the toes together. So we're just really doing some yoga nidra here, which is just deep focus on our body parts. So coming in and focusing in. And then just take those elbows and just flare them out a little bit and use them as a lever into your inner flesh of your lower calves. And then slowly reaching forward, kind of with your third eye. And then bring these elbows out onto the shin bone. See if you can actually make contact with your elbow points on your shin bones. Notice the sensitivity around the shin bones, everyone. Those are really lots of nerve endings there. And then now just reach forward. Maybe if you prepared, you have a pillow in front of you, or you can just flare out and just come into that forward bound angle. So we're getting into the inner adductors, into the inner groin, into the inner, right into the inner space where the adductor magnus attaches and comes down to the knee. So a lot of pelvic floor all the way across and then down through the foot. Notice any pain or sensation and then move away from it. So we're not going to be assertive or very yang. This is yin, which is all about softening and non-force. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. This. Coming back to the breath. Mouth is slightly open. Lips are even soft. Just a little longer. Notice if there's any sensations. I notice myself. I was like, oh, I could feel it in my lower back. And just make that attention, that notice of like, okay, yes. And bring in the practice of the breath. Taking a break anytime. So that's a nice, seeing some of you just kind of move in out of it. And I love that. And then kind of moving back in. And maybe you just take half in, half out. Yeah, nice. When the mind goes into panic with the body, we want to move away from it, not into it. Life is all about moving into that panic. And I want us to move away today. I want us to be all around nurturing the body, soul, spirit. And slowly coming out. Let's just go ahead and take and pivot. So we're all the way up on our knees now. And let's just come right into child's pose. Yeah, sitting all the way back in the heels, taking that child's pose all the way back. Yeah. Or you may want to just take puppy if the back is a little tight. Whatever feels right. So I'm just embracing this virtual class. The beautiful gift is that number one, we don't have to get in our cars and go anywhere. I love that. And then you get to just kind of be in your own space. No one really knows if you're doing something or not. You could take a break without worrying about any feelings of, oh, who's going to look at me? Isn't that wonderful? This is the gift of COVID-19 is we get to really embrace our alone time. And listen to our body and notice some of you moving around and really listening to your bodies, noticing if there's pain, taking a break. That's right. Some of you, if you're still here in this child's really reaching the hands out, just drawing the forehead down onto your mat or your fluffy blanket like I have. Feeling the rise and fall of your lower diaphragm on your upper thighs. That's right. That's right. And slowly from this, as we move away from that child's pose, let's just slowly bring the belly into the spine. Support yourself as we rise up into a table position by bringing the belly up into the spine. And let's just take that nice, yummy, yummy kitty pose. So bring the belly in into the cat, tucking the chin into the chest, arching the back. Holding the kitty. And let's just take that cow if we'd like. So we're arching the back. Nice arching the back up, and then draw the heart and the chest and the throat open. And some of us may choose, and I'm not sure who's got their microphone on and off. We'll find out when we do, when we go ahead and do lion's breath here. I'm going to do a baby one so it's not too loud, but some of us can be like, and we're just releasing the back of the throat. And think about all the congestion if you have allergies. So this would be a nice thing to do, is just go. So we're getting to the back of the throat. We're stretching out the tongue. Even if we just stick our tongue out, ladies and gentlemen. Taking that cat and cow, beautiful. And let's just take cat again. Beautiful, taking that cat. Nice. And cow, and then just sit back and just sit into hero's pose. And we're just going to take it all the way back. And we're just sitting on our heels. Some of us may want to be with our legs out, so it just depends on what feels good to you. Yeah, and let's just take that upward prayer pose again. I really want to encourage us to have blankets and props, bolsters, any kind of pillows. I'm okay because I've got a lot of fluff underneath me. I'm really having, you can grab 4 or 5 pillows from your bed. And let's just take this nice, beautiful pose. Let's come rocking back and just sit on our heels in what we call a Hindi pose. If this is new to you, you can just stay here and just kind of support yourself or sit in that Hindi pose. We're just here for a moment as we take it. And I'll have to move the computer around so you can see me, but we're going to go ahead and take it and stand all the way up. See if I can place here we go. So we're standing all the way up. Beautiful. And let's just take a nice shoulder roll up, down, and back. It feels so nice to just stand into mountain pose or Tadasana. So take those feet hip width apart and just hold and feel the grounding of your feet into Mother Earth. Yeah, so we're gonna just see if we can drop that tailbone down. And let's just take that nice upward prayer, nice and slow, feeling the muscles on our bones. And let's just take a nice, I want you to bend your knees here, a little bit of almost like a Tai Chi move, super slow. Bend the knees. We're gonna come into dangling pose. We're just gonna hold and dangle the body. Just let the body rock. Hey, beautiful. And just hang and hold that dangling pose. You can even pull your hair all the way up and down and let the energy come through the tips of your hair follicles or ragdoll, we also call this dangling ragdoll, just letting the body hang. That's right, just letting the body hang. Anti-gravity, just letting the body hang. Sometimes this might bring up a little fear because there's that, oh, wow, I'm just kind of letting my body be in complete non-resistance. Blood is rushing to the head. Just kind of defeating gravity for a moment, letting the body shaking out the head now. If any time it feels too much, just bend your knees and drop down and just support yourself. That's really a nice place to go. The back or the hamstrings are tight, just kind of bend the knees deeply and support the elbows on the outside of the ridge of the legs. Beautiful, holding that dangling pose. And then slowly just drop down. And I want us to go ahead and come back on the knees again. And I want us to extend the right leg all the way back and come right into a pigeon's pose. So we're bringing that outside leg inward and we're dropping down. And I'm going to kind of see if I can demo this a little bit better on the side. If you're new to yoga, and this is a great time to be new at yoga because you don't have to go to a class. You can just kind of figure it out with me. Taking that heel, we're just extending and dropping and rolling. That back leg is straight. The front leg is slightly bent at a 90-degree angle. We're opening up through the side of the hip. This is a beautiful hip opener. So this is more level 3. Let's say you're new and you're still really tight in the hips. You can just take a modified pigeon by just coming up here. This is fine. That's right. Coming into the breath. And again, if you're new, we hold these poses for 3 to 4 minutes. Some classes I know actually only do 3 poses an hour. I was just talking to an instructor about that. I'm like, she goes, no, we hold each pose for 20 minutes. I was like, oh, I just don't think we could do that. So holding this, but see if you can draw that back leg towards the midline of the body a little bit more. That's right. That's beautiful. That's good. Yeah. Some of you may want to drop all the way down into just resting pigeon. Chest is on the knee, forehead comes down. Thank you for making time for yourself, everyone. It's easy to get distracted with things that are just kind of sugary, like TV or news or Netflix. Those are sugary things. This is not sugary. This is beautiful self-care. Using the breath, slowing down the inhale and the exhale. And slowly moving out, just walk out of it like you're backing out of something. And then slowly bring that front foot in. And let's just take that puppy pose. So the hips are up, not a child pose, but a puppy. Forehead comes down. Hips are up. And moving the camera around. Really opening up through the arms. That's right. That's right. Beautiful puppy. So I encourage us to bring in some maybe scented candles if you like essential oils, if you have any. It's nice to have that smell, lavender or lemongrass or um, yeah, that's right. So child's puppy is like child's. The hips are up. I love puppy. It's probably my favorite pose. I can stay there for a long time. At any time you need to move out of it, you do what feels good to you. Maybe your knees are creaky and this doesn't feel good to you. So yeah. Mhm. So from that luxurious puppy, let's just draw the hands back. So we're in that tabletop position again. And from this tabletop position, let's just circle the hips up, down, and around, just getting a little lubrication in that tailbone. Just little circles. My candle smoke went in my face. So up, down, big circles, full circles, belly comes in, just undulating that lower spine. Mm. 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 And from here, let's draw that opposite leg coming down into the pigeon on the opposite side. So that leg comes in, that external leg comes out. Beautiful, beautiful. Mm-hmm. Again, I want you to encourage you to make this very comfortable. Gather as many blankets and pillows if you're coming back to my class next week. If you're joining me via YouTube, bring those pillows and comfy things. Make it very soft and feminine. So the softer energy we have, we can bring ourselves into that nurturing space. Just balancing out the yang in our environment right now, bringing in the yin. And just holding that pigeon. That's right. Notice any restlessness comes up and just notice it. Maybe it's body restlessness, mind restlessness. When I first started teaching this 4 years ago, I taught it intentionally to calm myself down out of my high energy personality, and it's really changed my life. Sometimes we need to do things that we don't like in order to cultivate balancing out our own energy systems, right? Knowing where we're weak in and then saying, hey, during this time, what do I need to work on? Maybe I don't like to read, like I don't, and I'm like trying to read, or whatever it is, bringing in the element of the diversity and the balance, resilience, diversity, balance, curiosity about what it would be like to read a novel or do yin yoga or feel uncomfortable holding poses for 3 minutes. We just have another 20 seconds or so here. Getting deep into the layers of the joint capsule, tendons, ligaments, even into the bones. There's shifting of the bones slightly if we hold these poses a little longer, actually realigning ourselves. And because we can't get massages or see chiropractors or acupuncturists right now, this is really what we need to do is our self-care, realigning our bodies, readjusting, restructuralizing. That's right. So from this pigeon, as we move out gently and slowly again, super slowly and gently, let's just take our body and then just lay right on our belly. So we're just right on our belly, just right on our belly. And let's just take a modified Sphinx pose. So we're arching our back, hands are straight down. We're just holding, squeezing our tush. You can see my lower back. Taking that breath in and breath out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself, your soul, your body, everyone. I'm looking at every one of your little squares, and this is so cute. It's like square one, hello. And then just slowly, let's bring in our pretty strong, exuberant pose as we finish up this night. It went by so fast. Last week I'm supposed to do 45 minutes, and I'm almost in for the full hour. Let's come into a modified wheel. Just bring both heels in to the bottom. So we're getting a nice deep stretch for the front of the quads, and let's just drop down. And let's hold this for a couple of minutes, our last and final pose. We're really getting an opening of the front of the shoulders now. We can feel the chest on our mat or floor. Our ear is down. Beautiful, just holding that there. And slowly, very slowly, one leg at a time, releasing that pose. And in any way you want, slowly turning over to your back as we come into our last and final pose of Savasana, or their corpse pose. If you're new to yoga, you're going to love this pose. You're just laying on your back. You may find a blanket or a pillow. If your back is hyperlordosis, you might want to bring a nice pillow into your sacrum, or support your knees by bringing a pillow underneath your knees. And then just let your body just melt into Mother Earth. You're on your back now, getting there as slowly as you need to. And over the next 5 or 6 minutes, I'll bring in the crystal bowls, and we'll end with our namaste and oms. So I wanted to say that you have the option, because you're in your own home, to sit up or just lay there and enjoy another few more minutes while we're not there. So there's no pressure. You can just stay there. I'm just going to guide you if you'd like. Or you could, I mean, if it were me, I would be there for another half hour. So just noticing some of you, if you want to move out of the Savasana meditation, just noticing your fingers and your feet. Maybe your eyes are still closed and you choose now to flutter them, slowly opening them, or you can stay exactly where you're at. It doesn't really matter because you're home. You're home. Some of you may choose in this moment to slowly come to a seated space or stay where you're at. It doesn't really matter. No one can see you. You can choose what you want. And as we're all in our private spaces, those of you who want to join me in your space and hear your own voice. And next week I'll figure out how I'll have us together. I'll unmute everyone. Let's just take this last moment and just come into the sacred Om of the oneness that we all are. The oneness we all are, not only together now, but the oneness we all are in this planet Earth. If there's anything we've learned, that we're all the same, our suffering is the same, our connection of love is the same. We are all one. There is no separateness between us. Om. Om. I send you loving dreams and kind, soft thoughts for all of you. Thank you so much for joining me, and namaste. I'll see you next week. Namaste, Kathy. Namaste, Lois. Mwah, Nancy, Suzanne. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you. Sleep well tonight and sweet dreams. We'll connect. Feel free to reach out to me anytime you want to text or talk. I know I'm overdue for some walks with everybody. And